Sawasdee krap and welcome to Thailand Top Stories. It looks like the Myanmar junta are in more trouble with the UN. Nok Air's bemoaning the lack of travellers at the moment, and we've got the Thai government looking for around about 800 missing African tourists. Well, that's coming up on today's program. Please subscribe to the channel, the Thaiger. That really helps the YouTube gods. But for now, let's get started with today's main news stories. The Immigration Bureau and the Ministry of Public Health are trying to locate 783 arrivals from the African continent who were passengers on aircraft since November the 15th. The hunt follows the detection of the Omicron variant and Thailand's blocking of flights from 8 southern African nations since last Saturday. The visitors are thought to be hanging around Bangkok, but officials are now using the tracking apps and checking the passengers' inbound documentation to find them. Officials are offering free testing if they can present themselves to a local hospital. Meanwhile, immigration and health officials are tightening COVID measures at Thailand's airports, and border police are stepping up controls along Thailand's leaky land borders, already arresting a number of illegal immigrants. You know, the ones they usually traffic into Thailand to do all the dirty jobs. Air passenger traffic post-November the 1st, when Thailand's borders were opened more fully to vaccinated travellers, has been lukewarm. That's the description from the CEO of Nok Air, bemoaning lacklustre passenger demand over the past month. The airline chief says the domestic carrier rehired workers and resumed operations nationwide in the hope the numbers of flyers may have stepped up, but says the traffic is not even near the 40% of 2019 levels they were predicting. He told Thai media that the airline's international passengers at Don Mueang Airport in November were less than 1% of the pre-pandemic total. He noted that the number of domestic passengers also paled in comparison compared to the same period of even last year, despite the Thai government's stimulus program, We Travel Together. Thailand's switch to 5G technology is predicted to reach $41 billion US by the end of this decade, and half of the country's mobile subscribers are predicted to have access to 5G by 2027. Meanwhile, the planned merger of telco giants True and dtac is likely to reduce service choices for Thailand's customers as the relevant ministries mull over the complexities of the proposed merger. Thailand's 5G network already has 3 million subscribers, with AIS leading the way, but the merger of True and dtac could form a powerful duopoly and drive the expansion of the 5G network. Industry pundits note that the development of cloud gaming, virtual reality and the emerging virtual metaverse require a strong network with high internet speeds. So far, no one seems to be getting their brains fried or getting random cases of COVID-19 from Thailand's 5G. Perhaps all those conspiracy theories about the evils of 5G were wrong. The Burmese military junta are in good company this morning with the Taliban in Afghanistan, both likely to be temporarily barred from representing their nations at the 193-member United Nations. All 193 member nations are meeting at the UN headquarters to assess the credentials of participants, but are likely to suspend their decision on Afghanistan and Myanmar's representation on the condition that their incumbent ambassadors remain in place. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says that no country should recognise or legitimise the Burmese junta, according to the previous UN Special Envoy on Myanmar, who stepped down last month. He committed last February to mobilising pressure to ensure that this coup fails. And Vietnam is setting up a travel bubble scheme with Thailand to allow vaccinated travellers to enter the southeast nation. The head of the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism says his department is working with Thai officials to set up the scheme, adding that the first batch of Thai tourists will arrive in Vietnam this month as part of the pilot vaccine passport program. He also says that Thailand was successful in restarting international tourism amid the ongoing pandemic with the Phuket Sandbox scheme. From this month, the Vietnamese government is resuming regular international flights to 15 countries with high immunisation rates. Before the pandemic, Thailand was the fastest growing tourist market for Vietnam, with the number of visitors from that nation increasing by 46% in 2019. A quick look at the COVID situation around Thailand, and good news at least for Phuket, which has dropped out of the top 10 highest daily reports for a few weeks. Yesterday, the island recorded 92 new infections, but Bangkok, unsurprisingly, remains at the top of the list, with southern provinces taking up 6 of the top 10 places. Notably, Chonburi, including Pattaya, keeps reporting a high number of daily infections. Yesterday it was 198 cases. Around the world, forgetting any potential impact from Omicron, the fourth wave is continuing to steadily rise, principally in the US, and they're a long way ahead of the Europeans, Germany, France. Then there's UK, Russia, Turkey and the Netherlands, who are also experiencing more than 20,000 new infections per day. Regionally, Vietnam, Malaysia and Thailand have reported the highest number of new infections in the past 24 hours. The worldwide death toll stands at 5,241,305 souls as of this morning. Well, that's the main news stories from around Thailand today. This poor looking tree is going to get a bit of a dress up today. We're going to find some extra baubles for it and give it a little bit of extra life. We're going to have a Christmas party here in the office. That's going to be on December the 23rd, and we'll make sure you're invited to join us, or at least virtually, to enjoy a little bit of Christmas fun. But from all of us here, you're up to date on the Thaiger.